Namaskar, my friends. Greetings on the balcony on this Monday morning. Waiting for you to come and join me. Just enjoying the play of the wind and the radiance of the sun and the moisture in the atmosphere. Breathing in along the chakra column. And connecting with you. So what shall we talk about today? I want to continue with the talk yesterday and to say that the idea of the cosmic play of yugas isn't a topic of mainstream conversation. But I think it's extremely important because it limits the amount of intelligence we have on our planet today. And it's not that we can't discover more or uncover more, but in each one of the yugas, we are only granted so much consciousness, but that's to the general population. Of course, there are a few who will exceed the yuga and who will live in a higher yuga consciousness, and those are you. Those are you who dare to go against mainstream thinking and to explore. So we are the ones of the future. That's why you're so interested in knowledge beyond what is mainstream. I've never been one to be caught up in mainstream thinking. I've always questioned it because what I experience in the inner space is so different. Yeah, so how do we live in a world that is driven by Rajas and Tamas, the gunas? Rajas is egotistic, that wants to acquire and to involve in power plays and manipulation and the rest, which is driven by lust for power, lust for pleasure, greed, jealousy. That's the general kind of consciousness of the human race at the moment, and it's all because of the darkness of the yuga. The yuga holds this display in Rajas and Tamas, with the sattva now growing. Sattva is the qualities of righteousness now growing. So can we trust everything that we hear? Can we trust everyone around us? And I spoke about the wolf in sheep clothing. That we have to be careful. But when our hearts resonate with deeper thinking, more righteous thinking, more noble thinking, we need to follow that resonance, and it will guide us. It will lead us along the way to finding those evolved souls and information that we need for the journey. So as you meet with me this Monday, I'm interested in helping you to prepare the mind. And how do you prepare the mind in a darker yuga? Because the energies of the space might be challenging it may not be the most uplifting energies you'll find around the space, in the space around you, from the environmental forces and also from the human energy field. And I remember in my travels that in every city I go to, I can feel a different kind of energy. Whether I'm in Paris, whether I'm in Amsterdam, whether I'm in New York, whether I'm in Toronto, the energies are different, and it's amazing how the collective energy of any city can be different, and how the human influence on the planet is huge in a collective sense. But how do we work with that? How do we work with the environment that is challenging in that sense? And here is where we need the power of the inner space. Here is where we need that soul power, that righteous soul power. So let me engage you for a moment, not to lose connection with the elements around you, not to lose connection with the body and disappear in the inner space, but to stay in the body, nourish the body, be more aware of the physicality, the grossness. The gross body is a body you wear. All the enlightened beings, all the evolved souls tell you that the body is an experience in your consciousness. It's a temporary experience, and the body is a vehicle that's meant for your life in this dimension. Without a body, you cannot experience this dimension in the way of the senses. The senses give you the experience of this dimension, that you can smell, taste, see, touch, hear. It's amazing that you can be in this dimension. In this dimension, you will feel the energy of it as well, the energy of the earth, the energy of nature around you, the environment, the energy of human beings, the energy of different animals, and the energy of the sea. It's amazing. So once you can tune into those energies. But first, you need to tune out of the challenging energies that pull your senses into a play. And it can be a challenging play, or it can be a play that uplifts you. So let's come into that beautiful space. First of all, when you are starting a new day, of course you don't want to get caught in the mind, because the mind will lead you across go into a tunnel that may be dark and challenging. So you want to open your heart to this day. And of course the heart can be challenging too if there are dark energies there. But in this group of you who are collecting now, I would like you to stay with an open heart as much as you can. That's the joy that I feel. And when I open the heart, I can feel that energy in waves across my entire body. And it's bringing joy in the body, not joy in the mind only, but joy in the body. When you know that the joy is coming from the body, then you know that the neurotransmitters like oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, and all these beautiful feel-good chemicals, they start flowing into your body. So you have the opportunity of stimulating all these neurotransmitters to flow into your body. And that is what maintains that feel good that we need. So whether you're working, whether you're driving, or whether you're whatever you're doing, whether in your home or already in the workplace, and just come into this beautiful space where you can actually stimulate all of the beautiful neurotransmitters in the brain and nervous system. And that's where the mind becomes very powerful. When the mind opens the heart, allows the heart, the ego mind, when it allows the heart to come, to open up and to flow these waves of energy, you can actually feel it right down to the nerves, everywhere, right down to the bones, right down to the blood. And it's exciting, right? All the endocrine system, it's marvelous. So when I breathe, I celebrate these waves of energy through my body. Yeah, and so we need this for the human experience, for living in the world. We need that lovingness that must flow from of our being. Then the breath becomes a loving breath. The body becomes a body that is driven by love. And this has nothing to do about the other. It's about self-love. It's about owning every cell and nourishing every cell, and not to be at war with yourselves, not to stress yourselves out by worry and scattered thinking and being indecisive and be low self-esteem and be feeling a victim. You don't want to challenge yourselves with this kind of mental emotional energy. So when I breathe now, I own the spinal column as energy, not just a mechanical structure. So I can go down to every level of the spinal column, be it the root, the sacral, the belly area where I can capture the liver and the spleen and kidneys, the heart where I can get to the lungs and the physical heart, and the heart chakra and the thymus gland, then the throat where I can get to the thyroids and parathyroids, and the brow where I can get to the pituitary and the pineal gland. That's absolutely beautiful. How can you meditate without stimulating these energies in you first? And then I allow my breath to flow in a rhythm, no jerkiness. That rhythm in the breath is extremely important because it brings flow in the body and it brings you more in touch with the prana apana. When I breathe in the ujjayi, regulating the gross breath, then I stimulate the energy column. It's absolutely beautiful. My eyes feel that they're being nourished by this activity. My brain feels more nourished. All my nerve plexuses, they feel more nourished. And that's my gut. I try to power the gut. So it allows my voice to be more energized as I speak to you. So this you need to learn. This you need to learn through what I would call awakened Kundalini. And this is what happens when you meet those evolved souls who are operating in and through Kundalini Shakti, Kundalini power. They can activate this in you if you're receptive. And when that happens, your world is no longer the same. It's different. It's more uplifting. And then knowledge comes spontaneously inside of you. Knowledge comes spontaneously inside of you. You begin to see things different, begin to pick up more in the same writing, in the same listening, in the same event. You begin to pick up more from it when the consciousness is awakened. So the consciousness needs to be heightened for this yoga, for this cosmic period. Your consciousness needs to be heightened. You need to have the sattvic consciousness more and more. And you can work for that every day. And remember that there's the mental programming and there's the physical programming in the body as well. You have the mental programming, when you hold that mental attitude or frame of mind and you hold your entire body in it, as I've been teaching you, your body cells and the brain and nervous system become programmed. You develop new neural pathways that work with your new thinking and your new habits. So in this yuga, where there are so much dark forces outside of you, you need to find that alone time where you can retreat away from everything. And that's what meditation affords you, where you can retreat away from the external world and you can start building the strength of your internal world. You can start expanding the consciousness as much as you can, finding the edge to where you are and going deeper by desiring more, by wanting more, and by holding the mind in an intuitive state and in a state of stillness, allowing grace to flow into you to open up your inner space. So that is how you shift the consciousness. And of course, there are no free lunches, so you have to work for this shift and earn the merit for it. Attune to that higher consciousness. So every day in this yoga, you need to develop the discipline of meditation. And meditation, take away the religious context from it. It can simply be on the breath. It can simply be on love. It can simply be on the body, like Vipassana, just being aware of the body and holding this beautiful field of peace and harmony, holding every body cell in it, and then the body becomes like a yantra, like a form that you can get to the divine in and through the beauty of the form. The human body is an amazing body built with a lot of beautiful geometry, and it's a holographic body. It's every cell is a part of the whole and resonates with the whole. So it's an extremely beautiful discipline to find that center of meditation where we can keep our eyes open and we can walk or we can work with it. So meditation is not just about sitting in stillness and detaching from the world and emptying the mind and staying there. No, it's a very dynamic state of a balance of energies in the inner space, but centered in a consciousness that is so deep and so broad, expansive, that you can feel every level of your being. So your active life should also be in meditation. So this whole idea of inner and outer world being separate, in an external sense, yes, but in an internal sense, the same center is there, and the same inner energies are working, whether you are in the sitting still or whether you are active. So when you become more mature in meditation and can stay centered in that inner space of expansive consciousness and in those beautiful energies of balance, you take it into the world and it stays with you. You're able to avoid conflict or move away from it, or even if you're in the midst of conflict, you can hold yourself in the strength of that inner state. So it's beautiful when you can live in the essence of meditation. And whether you're in activity or in stillness, you're still centered, where you can come to balance and where you can be in flow. And in this yoga, it's extremely important to let your will align to universal will. So don't fight with the universe, flow with it. Again, don't fight with the universe, flow with it. See where the universe is heading, see what it's doing, and try to align yourself with it. The universe is in evolutionary mode, not devolutionary mode, evolutionary mode. So we need to stay with where the universe is heading. So when the play of the universe is challenging, maybe some earthquake or rain or excessive rain or conflict in the world or war or poverty or disease, you stay in the strength of your inner space whilst you observe the outer space and knowing it's there for a karmic reason. Everything is happening because of a karmic reason. So we need just to know what is the meaning of that karmic play and to flow with it. So thank you for staying with me, and it's important that you learn to work with a challenging world. Not that you should prefer that everything should be beautiful. In this yoga, everything externally can't be beautiful. There'll be darkness. There'll be misery. There'll be challenge. There'll be ego. That is what Rajas and Tamas stand for. So we need to understand the nature of the yuga around us, the cosmic period, and we need to accept it. And we need to understand why we are in this cosmic period, because there's also darkness within. There's also a shadow area within us. So we need to understand why it is that we get caught in conflict. Why is it that we get caught in judgment? Why is it that we become jealous or become lustful, or we become self-righteous? Why? Don't fight with those qualities within you. They are of your past. Need not be of your present, but they are of your past. So what you need to do is accept the past you, and don't own the past you, because you're so different now. So own the new you, and work with that to move away from the past. And always remember that memories will still be there. When you have changed, when you have shifted, memories will still be there, but they will not have that kind of venom. They will not have that kind of strength to pull you down. That they will only be a memory without power. That's what you want it to be. Memory without power. Give power only to the noble things, the things that will lift you in this evolutionary drive. That's how you align to the evolutionary drive. And the Christ said it so magnificently. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That your will prevail here in the same way that it's in the divine world. So that's aligning our individual will to cosmic will. And that's what the whole idea of surrender. But surrender is a wisdom thing. It's not a fool's way. It's a wisdom thing. It's not an escape. Surrender means learning to align and flow with the universe. So you're surrendering to the power of the universe in the idea of flowing with it. So we need to, of course, I'll stay on this topic of strengthening yourself to meet a challenging world, because that's extremely important. Because there's war on the planet. There is poor governance in so many countries on the world. A lot of countries. There's poor governance because selfish people are running it, egotistical people are running it, and so that's the Rajas and the Tamas. So how do we work with this across the planet? There's inequity, there is a violation of human rights, and but our world is not ready for that Sat Yuga yet. But we can be, and that's why it's important that we transform ourselves and be a blessing to the world or an inspiration to the world. And don't try to transform the world. In this yuga, you will not be able to do it. The world will not be able to be transformed into this big dream that we may have, that it will be. No, we have to transform ourselves. So the real point is, let's transform ourselves and be an inspiration to the world. So again, I'd like you to join me in the silence of being, not losing the awareness of anything around you, just operating in that loving space inside, and in a silent mind that is in flow with everything that is happening. If you're driving, drive. If you're sitting, sit. If you're having tea, have it with love. Have it with peace. If you're in your garden, wherever you are, stay in that space of connection with your inner center, and with offering the best of you in the inner space to your world today. So I want to wish all of you a marvelous day. Be a blessing to your world. Be a channel of love and peace and goodness in your world today. And let's all thrive from that center of goodness within us. Let's pray for the protection of the divine the Divine will protect us, nourish us, strengthen us, hold us in wisdom and not ignorance, and keep us aligned to its great power. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you so much. My soul bows to you. Namaskar.